Hey, what's up? It's Greg from Fishing Headquarters, and today is Wednesday, August 16th. Here to share an updated fishing report with you folks for the Long Beach Island area. I apologize, I've been kind of out of loop for the last, say, 10 plus days. I took a little family vacation down to Florida, but I want to check back in with you guys now. I'm back in town, share an updated fish report. Just out on a fun family fishing trip today. I fished with father and son, Scott, I forget his last name, but we had some fun fishing, got out, got some bluefish early right off the bat, kind of cracked into some things and broke the ice just right. Some smaller bluefish, they've been kind of hanging around 1 to 3 pounds. I think the biggest fish was 4.5 pounds in the bow grip. We were gonna run up, fish some wrecks along Island Beach State Park, fish along the open bottom of Island Beach State Park, maybe head out to the reef. That was kind of the plan, Barney Reef or maybe Axel Carlson. That was the plan before we left the dock, but anybody knows kind of what panned out today. The light winds that were in some of the forecasts turned out to be a much stiffer wind that other forecasts showed. So you never know which ones to believe. Must be the best job in the world being a weatherman. Always can be wrong. Most of the time they are wrong, but if you guys know any really good weathermen, let me know their names so I like check in with them and use their reports. Most of them have been pretty bad recently. Let this Coast Guard chopper fly by real quick. I'll dive back in here. 2 choppers. So, saw a lot of boats heading back in early, a lot of boats that went out, turned around. I talked to a couple friends that ran out. We were gonna fish some reefs or wrecks. Said it was pretty rough, so decided to stay in the bay. I had a youth on board, I guess, whatever, maybe he was a young teenager. Wasn't super confident they had sea legs, but it turns out they did. We fished the inlet, caught some fish, caught fluke and blues. Fluke fishing for us was pretty slow. We did catch a few here, a few there. Fished most of the main channels closer to the inlet, picked away at some. Fluking for us was pretty slow. Decided to switch back and mostly focused on bluefish in the inlet with plugs. They had fun doing that, so that's what we did. I did hear a nice report from Stewart Staffer Danny Velarde. He went out and fished with some friends, ran up the beach, apologized again. The Coast Guard looks like they're just deciding to circle us today. Here they are. My apologies. See if they circle us up 6 more times. But yeah, Danny Velarde was out with some friends. He fished up along Island Beach State Park, some areas on the open bottom there. They've been doing good the last week or so. Before I went on vacation, there's some good fun fishing taking place up there off the Bathers Beach, off the old clam beds. He got some nice fish. I think he said he had 5 keepers. He said it was bumpy, a little rough, but it was fishable. That's one report I can share. I know the fishing on the reefs has been good. I really picked a good time to shoot this video. These guys are circling back around again. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'll just keep shooting this. Apologies. Fluke fishing off the LBI surf has been kind of the best fishery we have, land-based. We do have a pretty good fishing opportunity right now also at the Barnegat Inlet with tog. The tog up there, that season opened up this month. For August at 1 fish, 15 inches. Sand fleas, green crabs would be the best way to do it. Stay tight to the rocks in kind of the crevices. Also some fluke action, catch some fluke up off the rocks up in the inlet. Also be a couple schoolie striped bass. Also have a shot at some bluefish too. So if you're looking for the trifecta, striped bass, fluke, bluefish, that's probably the best place to fish right now in the month of August. Water temperature off the beach are in the mid to upper 60-degree range. I heard mid 60s in Ship Bottom today from the Ship Bottom Beach Patrol. I think it was 67 from Harvey Cedars. The surf right now is about 1 to 3 foot range. I did mention the winds a little more on the northerly northeast. Definitely on the bumpy side, sloppy out there in the ocean. Looks like it's going to swing a little more easterly and possibly fade out here throughout the day. Looks like tomorrow should be a good day to get out. I'm looking forward to my trip tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to fish out, say 50 to 70 foot of water for some fluke. Try to look around and see what I can find. I can share the tuna fishing action. Say the midshore lumps there has been continuing on. It's been probably a month of that going. Definitely a lot of squid out there as well. I can also share there's some tuna fish on the 30 and 40 fathom lines. Hearing a few reports from a few different areas Anglers catching on the troll, anglers catching on the chunk, anglers catching the jig, anglers catching popping. So that's awesome to hear. I can share a report. Nick DeGennaro is back up from Florida. He's fishing with his dad with high flyer sport fishing. I know he got out and got us some weak fish the other day. I failed at that before I went on vacation. I think I shared that in my last report. I got out, did some shrimp, and I failed, but recently he was out and got some weak fish, so stoked to hear that. He also got out in the Bluefin grounds, got a nice bluefin the other day recently, so stoked on that. I think he was fishing with Colby Capri. That's one of the local fish and game enforcement officers, also local angler, friend of the shop. He got into a marlin of some sorts. We think it was a smaller blue marlin, possibly 200, maybe 250, maybe even 300 pound blue marlin on a popper. Came up and ate him. He was fishing midshore grounds, not super inshore, but midshore grounds, tuna fishing, and had a blue marlin come up and take his popper. So I'll share a little of that video.
Oh! That's a blue marlin. That's a blue marlin.
Oh shit, I need that on video.
I'm going already.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Yo, can you yell to this guy? Yep. Kind of exciting to see, not something you see every day. There's some sea bass if you're fishing local wrecks and reefs. Most of the time you're fishing a little deeper, say 60, 70, 80 foot of water right now is kind of where I found them. So yeah, kind of recap off the surf. You got fluke. There should be some bluefish at times. I will say kingfish have been on the slower side. There are a little bit of an opportunity for kingfish, but I wouldn't bank on epic kingfishing right now. Hopefully that progresses and gets better. Blowfishing's been on the slow side this year, has improved a little bit. We're hearing some blowfish reports. I caught a big fatty today, actually on a 7-0 hook on I think it was either 5 or 6 inch grub. They were chewing our baits. It was kind of frustrating, but that's kind of what you get for fluke fishing the bay with gulp in August. But there are some anglers catching some nice fluke in the bay. I can mention store staffer Paul was out fishing with Finelli. He was out fishing with Mark Finelli, Laura Sport Fishing. They got some sheepshead the other day. Also caught a big 5-pound fluke on a sand fluke. So that was kind of a unique catch. Stoked to see that. Kind of share that photo. I know Paul was definitely excited for that. He shared it with me. Got a big old fluke there. Fishing Mid-Island Bayside. Normally you don't see 5-pound fluke in August in Ship Bottom Bay, but good to see. So there are plenty of fluke in the bay. A friend reported some good fluke fishing today, but all shorts. Fishing the main thoroughfares here in Barnegat Light. Like I mentioned, I did very poorly fluke fishing, but had a handful or so of small fluke shorts. No keepers for me. I think if I focused strictly on that all day for a 4 or 5 hour trip, I definitely would have done much, much better. But primarily most of my trip today was spent on bluefish cast retrieving smaller lures. Had a blast, like I mentioned earlier, in those cocktail size, 1 pound to 3 pound mostly, but I had 2 fish that were just around 4, just over 4 pounds. So it was fun time catching those. Recap, definitely some tuna fishing action happening this week right now. We got the Beachhead Marlin Tuna Club, White Marlin Invitational, so hopefully we'll see some good tuna and marlin caught in that. Good luck to all the anglers fishing that tournament. It's the oldest white marlin tournament in the world, I believe. There is an upcoming surf fishing tournament I'd like to mention. Long Beach Island Surf Fishing Classic kicks off in October. Be on the lookout for that. That's a 9-week surf fishing tournament for striped bass, bluefish. It's got tog has been added. I think there's a prize also for a red drum and also kingfish too. So if you like surf fishing, you want to partake in I guess it's the 69th annual LBI Surf Fishing Classic. Get down and schedule your time to get down here and fish LBI in the fall. Like I mentioned, it starts in October. It runs October, November, ends I think December 10th, if I'm not mistaken. But check it out, lbift.com. It's the Long Beach Island Surf Fishing Tournament. Better known as the Long Beach Island Surf Fishing Classic or the Derby. It's a great tournament every single year. Hopefully you've participated. If you haven't, it's a great event. Check it out, $30. You sign up, get a free hat and whatnot. Sign up will begin, I guess, normally later in the summer. Normally it's right around Labor Day. It's surprising it's coming up pretty quick. So early September, we should have signups available for that. But be sure to register and have some fun. Tons of prizes to win, dailies, weekly segments, and all that. Also, I believe there's going to be a catch and release division for striped bass. I spearheaded that a few years back. It was a total failure. There was very little participation. But it seems last few years, a lot more participation in the catch and release fishery. So we decided as a board to bring it back. Kind of excited to see what that has for us in store. We had some really good fun fishing here in Long Beach Island off the surf last spring and also last fall. So hopefully that repeats again. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if you guys are looking to get geared up, get into some good fun fishing right now, late summer time frame, stop by Fisherman's Headquarters. We're located in Ship Bottom, Long Beach Island. You can follow us along on Fishery Reports on fishinglbi.com. I apologize I haven't had updates there as much as I'd like to, but there's some good fishing information. Definitely check back on the archives. Definitely brings some value to kind of tap back into some of those resources, see what happened, say this week, last year, these days, or this block month, last year, the years before. There's a number of years of archives, probably 5 or more, possibly even 10 or more. I really, really wish I had the archives from the previous server that the old website was on when we had reports going back to 1997. That would have been some really awesome stuff to somehow provide. Also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you get these fish reports. I'm stoked you guys are following and watching. Last couple days when I've been in the shop, I've gotten some really, really good, awesome feedback, good support. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys following along. Hopefully they bring some value to you now and throughout the entire season. Just thinking in my head, I don't think I really forgot much. I had a lot to talk about. I probably forgot most of it, but I don't remember much of it right now. But I can say there's some small bait around. Bluefish today, we're spitting up some sand eels, spitting up some bay anchovies. There's a peanut bunker here at my dock in Barnegat Light, so it's great. We got an abundance of bait. Hopefully we have an awesome fall ahead. Hopefully we have a great couple more weeks of summer left. Be on the lookout for some weather coming. I see the tropical, kind of tropical forecast is kind of warming up a little out there. There was a lot of dust, dry air coming off, being spilled off of Africa, and that dampers the tropical developments. However, I see a couple areas of interest that are starting to track westerly. We'll see how these ones kind of progress through the Atlantic there as they come across. It looks like they kind of have a little bit of a crossing pattern and sort of a little bit of a flow up into sort of the northeast region. Hopefully they do the up and hook out. We'll see how that goes, but always be on the lookout for that. Be prepared. Hopefully these waters stay warm. There is a little bit of southerly blow coming on Thursday. That's tomorrow afternoon, evening. I see a good stiff southerly blow in the forecast that might give us a little bit of an upwelling. We have westerly winds again on Friday if that forecast stays true. I see breezy westerly winds. That can mean a little buggy. So if you are going to be out on the beach, you're going to be out fishing on the water, bring your Captain Ron's bug spray. We've got it here at Fisherman's Headquarters. It's the best black fly greenhead bug spray there is. Also works on gnats, mosquitoes, but it is a standout for black flies, a standout for greenheads. Those biting flies are atrocious, and the west wind, especially a breezy west wind, lighter winds, sometimes you get 10, 15 knots out of the west, the bugs can be really, really bad this time of year. So be prepared. Hopefully this brings some value to you and it makes your fishing trips and your fishing experiences much, much better and more successful. If it doesn't, and you need other help, you got other issues, say it's tackle, you got problems tying knots, not sure what gear to use, stop by Fisherman's Headquarters. We're open 7 days a week. Love to help you out and get you geared up. Make sure you catch more fish. We've been helping anglers like yourself catch more fish since 1962. Have a great day.